All right, everybody. It is Southeast Game Exchange Day. We are on our way to the Greenville Convention Center right now. I brought a lot of trade stuff. I've got a bunch of PS3 stuff that I know I'm never going to get around to playing. I've got a bunch of game guides and a few other things that I have as potential things that I can offload to some of these vendors here. So let's go. Let's have a good time. April, you excited?
Woo!
Woo Girl's ready. Let's go. Got my buddy here, David, who has very graciously given me NBA In The Zone 2000. So thank you so much.
Not a problem.
And plug your stuff. What's your channel?
David B69. Yeah.
I'll make sure it gets into the description. So again, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
So what you just saw was everything that I got to film at Southeast Game Exchange this year. This is one of my favorite shows to go to every year, and it just always sticks out in my mind as one of the best times I have going to conventions like this. And that might just be because this is where I tend to get most of the additions to my collection, and this year was absolutely no different. I guess we'll just dive right into that. We'll start with the non-game things first, and we'll go into the game stuff because there's a good many bigger adds to the collection that we can go over. So we'll start with the non-game stuff. This year was a Red Dead Redemption themed year for the show, so they had a little sheriff's badge pin for the show. I think they sold these last year, but I might just be misremembering. But last year's show was Donkey Kong themed, so they had a barrel, a DK barrel, and then they had a collection of pins from based off the themes from years prior. So you had 2024's, which was Metal Gear Solid, 2023's, which was Final Fantasy VII, 2022's, which was Pokemon, and 2021's, which I assume was Pac-Man. Did they even have the show in 2021? Because, you know, COVID and everything. They had another pin set for the years prior to that, because this was actually the 10th year of Southeast Game Exchange. So they had another pin set for the first 4 years. But our first one that we went to was the 2022's Pokemon year. So that's why I only got this pin set rather than getting all of them, because I wanted the ones for the years that we were actually there. And there was actually a booth not affiliated with the con who was selling pins as well. It was Canvas Quest, and so I bought 2 pins from them. I bought a Mr. Saturn, and then I picked up a Famicom Disk System mascot. The last non-game related thing that I picked up is an addition from my Zelda collection. I believe it was the Secret Castle Toys and Games booth. They had a Zelda Nendroid for Breath of the Wild Link. I picked up the Nendroid from Wind Waker HD last year, I think, at the Plastic Empire store in Atlanta, and I will definitely be keeping my eye out for the rest of the Zelda-related ones. If you guys remember from 2 weeks ago, I made a video talking about the games that I was hoping to find. I found a few from that list, but really only one that was a very specific game that I wanted to find, and that was Hazelight's A Way Out. We've played Split Fiction, we've played It Takes Two. I know they did this, and I know they did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and that's something else I'd like to get my hands on at some point, but I don't know if that's co-op or not. So if somebody down in the comments, let me know if Brothers is co-op, or if I'm going to be playing that one by myself when I get it. I picked up a stack of DS games while I was at the con. I mentioned a couple DS games in my last video. Turns out I was wrong about one of them. I mentioned I wanted to find the first Professor Layton game because it wasn't on my shelf over there. And turns out I did actually have it, and April had taken it into her stuff because she wanted to play it. So when I looked on my shelf for it and didn't see it, I thought I didn't have it. So I actually found it at a booth and bought it. And whenever I reconnected with April, she was like, "You have that already?" I was like, "No, I don't. It wasn't on my shelf." She was like, "Yeah, it's in my stuff." Luckily, the guy at the booth was very, very nice and let me just give it back to him, and he gave me my money back. So that was very good of that dude. I don't remember which booth it was at, unfortunately, but if you watch this video and you were the guy who helped me with that, thank you for being kind. But I picked up a stack of DS games that weren't on that list, and the first one that I got was Scourge Hive. I remember being at MomoCon either last year or 2 years ago, and we sat in a panel talking about like underrated games that you never really hear people discuss, and this was one of the ones that the guy praised. So I was excited to find it because I remembered him talking about it at that panel, and I'm excited to give it a go because I've been wanting to get more into the DS this year. And then the next DS games I picked up, I actually picked up 4. I picked up the entire line of Kirby games on the system. Kirby Canvas Curse, Kirby Squeak Squad, Kirby Superstar Ultra, and Kirby Mass Attack. Interestingly enough, the DS Kirby games are ones that I kind of missed out on entirely. I got my DS when Phantom Hourglass came out, and I really enjoyed the system, and I really enjoyed Kirby, so I don't really know why I never got the DS Kirby games, but I'm glad to have them now because these are ones I've been wanting to go through for a long time now. And so I'm glad I'm finally going to be able to get to, especially considering how much I loved the Game Boy Advance Kirby games. Both Nightmare in Dreamland and Amazing Mirror were both fantastic. As you saw in the clips leading up to this, I actually picked up an N64 game from one of y'all out in the ether. Special thanks to David B69 Gaming for reaching out to me on Instagram and in my comments here to let me know that he wanted to give me NBA in the Zone 2000. It was very nice of you, man. Thank you so much for doing this for me. You helped me get one step closer to a complete N64 collection. I very much appreciate it. I'll link his channel down in the description, so you guys should go check him out. The rest of the pickups were all N64 games. I picked up quite a few, and we'll go over those now. The first one I picked up was not actually towards the completion list because it was a Japanese game. I picked up the original Sin and Punishment. I've been eyeing this for several years now, so it's great to actually finally have this because I've been wanting to play through it on proper hardware. The next game I picked up was another one that's been staring me in the face for a very long time from several different stores over the years, is Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. That is another one for the completion collection. I picked up 4 more games, all from the same booth. I picked up Donald Duck's Going Quackers, International Superstar Soccer 2000, Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck, and Carmageddon 64. All 4 of these came from the same booth, so the dude cut me a really good deal on his asking price, so that was a fantastic add to the collection. And I picked up one more at one different booth. I picked up Castlevania Legacy of Darkness with its manual. I had a good bit of trade that I brought with me, so I was able to get all of this for frankly not an obscene amount of money. I think that was a very successful Southeast Game Exchange. Again, always one of my favorite shows to go to every year. If you're anywhere near the Greenville area in July, you should definitely come check it out if this is kind of your bag. I want to give a big thanks to Austin and the team for allowing me to come out and take part in the show. It does mean a lot to be included in something like this. But I think that's all I have to say about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you like what I do here, then hit subscribe because that does help me out a lot. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one, y'all.